Okay, so I thought I'd just explain how to do the very basics of an equation with algebra, okay? So here's a picture to show and explain exactly what's going on. So as you can see, algebra is like, it's balancing. So when we've got an equal sign, that equal sign is really, we're not looking at the fact that this side gives you an answer, okay? So the equal sign doesn't mean the answer is really. It's about balancing. So you're balancing whatever is on this side with what's on this side. So the value of this is the same as the value of this, okay? So we've got here, just before that, with algebra, what we're trying to do is solve an unknown, okay? So we're trying to figure out an unknown number. So what we've got here is a balance, okay? And on this side, we've got boxes. So we're going to call each box B, all right? And then that's the same thing as 15. And so you can see in my calculation here, I've got 3B, 3 boxes, is the same thing as 15, okay? So this is your very first layer, and you're trying to get back to this. When any additional layers you add on within algebra, you're trying to get back to this point, okay? Because at this point, we can say each of the boxes are the same. They're all the same letter, so they're all the same number, okay? That bit you can take for granted with algebra. So what we're trying to do is share the 15 counters between the 3 boxes to work out what the value is in one box, okay? So to do that, we're going to divide. So if we look at this, I can actually divide that into 3 groups, and that leaves the same amount in each one. So there's 5 in each box. So to get rid of this, we're going to divide by 3 and do the same on the other side so that we keep it balanced. And then that means B is equal to 5. So in one of the boxes, there's 5 counters. And if we check that, we've got 5, 10, 15. Okay? Right, that's your first stage. Now, if we're going to add a bit to that, okay, so we could add, if we had 3 boxes, is equal to 5. And then we've got 3 additional counters on this side. So, yeah, okay, so there we go. Right, so this time I've got 3 boxes and an additional 3 counters, and that's equal to 18 counters, okay? So we've added an extra layer because we've added numbers in amongst with the letters this time. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get rid of anything additional so that you come back to the fact that you've got letters one side, numbers the other side, okay? Now, if you think about, you need to decide what to do with the +3. So if we think about 0, the reason we're trying to make 0 is because if you make this number 0, there's actually nothing there. So you've got rid of it, okay? So we're always trying to make 0. So if this is -3, okay, if you imagine a lift, if I go down 3 floors to get back up to ground 0, I have to add 3, okay? Same but different, I suppose. If we're up 3 floors, in order to get down to ground 0, I need to subtract the floors, okay? So if we're down 3, we're going to go add to make 3. And if we're up 3, we're going to subtract to get back to 0. So it's all about that. That's why we do the opposite sign, okay? So with this, first job I'm going to do is get rid of the 3 additional counters. Remember, we have to keep it balanced. So if I get rid of one this side, to avoid it being unbalanced, I've got to do the same on both sides. So every time I get rid of a counter, I get rid of a counter the other side. Okay, right, so now that means I'm left with 3B is equal to 15. And I've subtracted 3 on both sides to keep it balanced. Okay, so now we're back to where we were originally. I can divide by 3 to get rid of the 3. But you remember you're doing it on both sides. So that will leave us with a 1 box is equal to 5. Okay, that's the next stage. Okay, now I'll show you. So this was with addition. I'll show you it with subtraction. So you've got the both. So here's this. So this time let's have 2 boxes, and I'll just mark it. I can't do ones that aren't there, so I'll mark it with a minus. And that's the same thing as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this time I've got 2 boxes. Take away 2 is the same as 6. Okay, so first job is to get rid of these minus counters. So if we're down 2, remember we have to add 2 to make it 0. So I'm going to do that on both sides. So that means I'm left with 2b on this side. So I've got rid of that and got rid of that. And I have to add 2 counters to keep it balanced. Okay, so that means 2 boxes is equal to 8. And then the final step, again, we come back to that final step of boxes one side, counters the other. We can just share out the boxes, sorry, the counters between the boxes. And you can see that I've got 4 this side and 4 this side. So 1 box is equal to 4. All right. Okay. I'll leave it there for a minute. I'll do another video on algebra another time. Hopefully that made sense. Okay. If you've got any questions, drop me a message.